Alright, how's it going, guys? It's me. Today I'll be making a video on how to set your sag on your dirt bike, specifically YZ bikes, but this will work on pretty much any of the Japanese brands. Alright, so what you're gonna need is a mallet, some type of punch or flathead screwdriver, a sag scale, or a measuring tape. Setting your sag can seem super confusing at first, but once you understand the different components to it, it's really simple. So the first thing you need to do is measure your static sag, which is your sag while your bike is resting on a stand. So get your measuring tape or your sag scale, hook it in your axle, and then a point that you know is going to be consistent on your fender. So I made 2 marks here so I know each side, and zero it out. Or with your tape measure, get that measurement. All right, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a buddy or 2, and you're going to want to put all the gear that you wear while you go riding to get a consistent weight. You're going to want to take your bike off the stand, go sit on the bike in a forward riding position, attack position, you know, elbows up, leaning kind of more forward than less. Sitting down, have your buddy stabilize the bike and get a measurement from the bottom of the axle to that same mark, and you're gonna get around 100 millimeters on a sag scale, more or less, or with your subtractions on a tape measure, you get the same deal. And you're gonna make your determinations on what you want it to be based on the specs. Based on what that number is, you can move it, make it more sag or less sag, which we'll get into right now. So the typical number on a lot of these bikes for your sag to be is around 100 millimeters to 110 to maybe 15 if you're doing a lot of woods riding, 100 if you're doing stiff supercross track riding. So it all depends on how much you weigh and what type of riding you're doing. I'm a taller, heavier rider personally. I'm 6'3", probably 170 pounds with gear on, and I ride a lot of motocross. So I like to be on the lower end of the sag, so I like to have around 100 millimeters. But if you're doing more woods riding and you need more bounce and you're okay with, having a lot of suspension, you want to go heavier on the sag. You want to have like 108 or maybe more. It depends on what you're doing, how light of a rider you are. Specs of these bikes, they're made for riders around like 150 pounds, probably a lot of 250s. And when you're heavier than that, you're going to need to adjust it, especially for your weight. Now, how you adjust your sag is all going to be coming from the rotation of these rings right here on the spring. And that's where your punch and your mallet's going to come in handy. So you're going to want to loosen this top spring so you can get access to this bottom spring, because that's going to be coming on how you're actually going to get the sag. So you're going to want to loosen this by punching this in, and that's going to loosen. Then you're going to want to loosen or tighten this spring depending on if you want more sag or less sag, which I'll explain. So each rotation on this bottom spring is around 2 to 4 millimeters. If you want to get more sag, then you are going to want to loosen that bottom spring. So just like you do with the top spring, you're going to want to pound this however many rotations you need. Let's say you are at 96 millimeters, you want to get to 100 because you're a light rider, then you maybe do 1.5 turns or something. If you're a heavy rider like me and you're bottoming out and stuff, you're going to want to actually tighten that spring. So you're going to want to come access from the other side and hit that in. Let's say you're at 108 millimeters like I was and you want to get to 100. You're going to want to do probably 2 full rotations and a half, and that'll make it around 100. And you're gonna measure it again with your buddy, take it off, get the measurements again, and hopefully it's close to how you want it once you're done. After you tighten, and you can tighten that top spring and you're good. That's really all there is to it. You can always mess with your rebound and your clickers too. That's another video I can make. And yeah, it's an important thing to do, and that's how you do it. So make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys.